All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron, Russell, and Astro, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. Lots of people showing up in the chat room. Before we get started, let's just say hi real quick to our cool, outrageous man about town, Ron Russell.
I'm being attacked by a beautiful young boy.
There you are.
My 7-pound little Astro, who I love. Come here, Astro. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, Astro.
Say hello to everybody.
He's adorable. We have a chat room full of people. Let's say hi to everybody. So what's up? We've got Cindy Lady Lake in the chat room. Don Hinton, hello. Don, Ron's got a watch on today. Another 49 watch.
It's a color coordinated with the shirt I'm wearing.
Orange and green with the plaid shirt.
And I have orange and green in my plaid in my shirt. We
have football player Boomer Mays in the chat room. Angela Joseph, what's up, Angela Joseph? Don Hinton, Backpack John, Teresa Sabin, hello, Teresa. We have Lady Lake. I don't know, it's going so fast I can't really actually see. If I left anybody out, I'm sorry, and I see it pop up, we'll say hi to everybody. But
that's because you're getting old and your vision is not as quick as your brain.
I know, it goes fast.
No, it's you see them, but your brain doesn't register. It's called old age, honey bunny.
It's a lot of fun. No, artist Miss Kim is in there. I didn't mention her, so she's in there.
Artist Miss Kim. Now, do I love that?
Artist Miss Kim is in there. So you guys, we've got a really fun show for you today. We've got Ethan Suplee coming on. I think that's how we pronounce his name. I actually went on YouTube to find out how you do it, but I'm going to ask him when he comes on before we announce him. And then Ron and I last night were on a really fun show called the Scene Snobs with Mick Manhattan and Casey Plott, and they're coming on. We started like talking yesterday, and we're going to finish our talk today on the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. And Teresa Sabin was there last night. It was awesome. And
I really liked him because this one guy made his name Manhattan.
Mick Manhattan.
Nick Manhattan.
No, Mick.
Mick or Nick?
Mick with an M. Mick.
The fuck is the difference?
Like Mickey.
M or Nick. Nick or Mick, it's still the same thing in China. But anyway, yeah, he made his name Manhattan. I thought that was so cool. I wanted to be Ronnie York or Ronnie New York or Ronnie Brooklyn or Ronnie Manhattan. Ronnie anything.
It was fun.
I took Russell after Jane.
We had a fun time last night on their show, and it was just the one guy's kind of like Ron. He's witty, and he comes up with quick little one-liners, very fun. And the other guy's kind of like me. I don't know, the one who like does the business shit. And it was
no fun. Comment from me, folks.
But it was funny. You are the funny one. And look how gorgeous. Everybody says how gorgeous you look today. They're saying Ronnie Manhattan.
Ronnie Manhattan, instead of Hollywood Ron. What do they call me? Mr. Hollywood. Oh, but these guys were wonderful. What did they call us? I forgot.
They called us like Hollywood legends.
Oh, no, Hollywood something else.
Icons or legends.
I forgot. And I said, what bullshit is that? I mean, no, what do they call us? Hollywood?
Royalty?
Royalty.
Yeah, they called us Hollywood royalty.
I said, yeah, royalty. I'm from Brooklyn. That's royal enough.
It was a lot of fun, you guys. And so I think that today's show is going to be a lot of fun. And we're in Palm Springs. The weather is nice. It's sunny out. It's like 70 degrees. For all of you guys freezing in the snow, we hope you're staying safe and staying warm and still having a good time. Eileen Shapiro, I don't think is with us today, but we want to give her a shout out. She got a new dog named Fiona, so we want to congratulate her on her new dog,
Eileen?
Fiona. She's got an interview with Coco from Ice-T and Coco.
Oh.
And
my dog wants to make out. No.
He always wants to make out. That's what he does.
No. Enough. I'm on television. You can't kiss me. No. Astro, come on, Daddy has to go to work. I love you. I love you. You're so cute, my little baby.
And Teresa says we look fabulous. So
thank you, Teresa.
I'll actually have to fix my little shirt a little bit. So we're gonna have a lot of fun today. We hope everybody's been doing good. We had a good time last week with Rich Nana. Oh, I would like to ask everybody too, you guys, if you're like listening to the show and you don't watch it, but you like to listen to it, please listen to us on iTunes and share the iTunes link, the one that says the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, because we are trying to get on the iTunes charts, and everybody listens to us on SoundCloud and YouTube and everywhere else but iTunes, but I'm trying to get on the charts. So when you see me sharing the links, please use those links and listen to the show so we can see if we can get on some charts.
And if you want to see the Mary Wilson interview, be patient, because they were having trouble. They, not us. Imagine she was in a big studio somewhere and they were having trouble getting her visual to us. So the first half of the interview was only audio. Then, of course, she came on at the very end, visible. But at least we have that footage of Jimmy and I and Mary Wilson.
And
Mary
rest in
Wilson
peace.
was a sweet, dear, wonderful person who was totally abused by Diana Ross. Uh, she ruined the Supremes. And of course, she went on to becoming a great movie actress and a soloist. But the other girls, didn't do as well. And they were just as much a part of the Supremes as Diana Ross was. Jimmy and I saw them at the Copacabana. We had a ringside table. And a man comes over and he sits at our table. He said, "I'm just going to be here for a few minutes."
Not Jimmy and I.
I'm sorry, Sal and I. Jimmy wasn't born yet. Well, it was like 1962.
Yes, I wasn't born
You
yet.
weren't born yet. Sal, my old partner who passed away. And the man turned out to be Sammy Davis Jr., who said, "I just want to take a few pictures." I said, "No, sit as long as you like." Like, anyway, the Supremes were absolutely wonderful. We were thrilled with them. I was so sorry when they split because they could have gone on as the Supremes and Diana Ross could have gone on separately and the Supremes. But Diana Ross was in her head a star, and she was a white woman in her head. And I guess she didn't care for black people or being in that group. I don't know. This is the rumors that I heard. Diana Ross is not the nicest gal in the world.
Well, you said that too.
Well, I've heard it from, it's a rumor, it's my opinion. I've heard it from so many people that have dealt with her that she's really
difficult.
very difficult and very unkind and very, very, I'm a star kind of a person.
Which she is.
But Mary Wilson was the opposite.
Dave Hughes said, "Hey, Dave, how you doing, Dave?" It says Diana Ross is a prima donna in its worst example. Oh, and B. Claudia just joined us from Germany. B, we've missed you. I hope you're doing okay.
Is it snowing in Germany? Because it's snowing in New York. New York is going to get snow all week long. Could you imagine a whole week of snow? I mean, it snows. Well, February, yeah. My daughter was born February 6th, Leslie, in a blizzard. And I drove in the blizzard when the television said no one's allowed on the road because they're so dangerous. I said, "Screw you. I got to go get my kid." And I drove from Long Island to New York Hospital, where I got Leslie and my ex-wife, and we drove home in a blizzard, skidding and sliding and spinning around.
When she's like just born.
She was just born. She was only a couple of days old. And we got home safely. And when we got home, we found about 12 of our friends there waiting for us. And they wound up staying for about 3 or 4 days because we were snowed in. We ate everything there was to eat in the house. And then we were thinking maybe we'll eat my St. Bernard. He was big enough for all of us. But that was a joke. But those were the good fun days in New York way back in 1969.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to say, I was 5 then.
You were 5, right. I was driving my baby home when you were 5. I don't know.
So we hope everybody's doing well and everybody's staying safe with all the COVID stuff. Ron's a week and a half into his shot. He has another one in a week and a half, and then at least he'll be a little bit.
Well, after my next shot, I can start to entertain in the house and have some friends over. I wrote an article on my Facebook page this morning about being very depressed and fighting it. And I was doing that to encourage other people who are equally as depressed as I am. I'm never depressed, I'm never down, and I'm never negative. You know that. So I fight it. I fight it with all my might. And like I said to Jimmy, if you think I'm hard on you, don't be. I'm harder on myself. And that's something to be said for. But I feel much better today because I'm working on not being depressed about being locked up in my house away from so many people who I miss and enjoy. Ozzy Aziz, that wonderful, beautiful human being, said if she could, she'd be here with us because she's back in the States. Sean Kanan wrote, the wonderful actor Sean Kanan, he wrote, "When are we doing that dinner party at your house where he and Michelle are going to cook for me in my house?" So there's a lot of wonderful people out there who feel compassion for me and for what I'm going through. Jimmy is more or less a settled guy. I'm a wild guy. I have partied all my life. My life has been one big party. And to come to this sudden standstill of no red carpets, no movies, no work. I do nothing all day but run around in pajamas. How much can you clean? I hate cleaning.
Oh, but you are doing something soon. because we just when our guest is here, so we gotta let him in. But
say what we're gonna do.
So pretty soon, you guys, Ron and I are gonna be in a radio drama called Dead Exit. It's all about Hollywood intrigue, murder, sex, all kinds of cool stuff, and it's gonna be an old time radio drama,
which I can't wait.
Ron
to do.
is playing Gary Glitch, a TV talk show host, and I'm playing Johnny Hollywood, a TV reporter. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think it's going to be fun. And we'll let you guys know more about it as we go along, because lots of people you guys know that have been on our show are going to be in it.
And I have to create a new voice, sounding. And so I'm excited about it, because when you act, you could use facial expressions to get the point across. But when you do radio, it's all about your voice. And your voice is what tells the people what the story is about. Luckily, I come from the days of radio. When I was a kid, we used to lay in bed at night with the lights out and listen to Inner Sanctum and the G-Men and Superman and the Long Ranger. So I understand radio well.
It's going to be fun.
And I'll be able to do a good job.
I'll let you guys know more about it. They're finishing the casting now, of which I'm making suggestions from many of the people that have been on our show. So you're going to see a lot of famous musicians having roles, and Eileen's going to be in it, and Sherry Nelson, and all kinds of cool, Steve Hamm, a whole bunch of cool people, plus the people they've already got cast.
What is Eileen playing?
She's playing a museum curator, I think.
A museum curator?
Yeah, I think
that's so miscast.
Well, we're still working on it.
She should be like the burlesque queen.
I try. The only thing we need is a Russian lady who used to be someone who could do a Russian accent, who used to be a porn star, and they have to be good looking, because anybody who's in the radio drama will be in the movie. And so I'm not sure who could play. Who we have that could play an ex-porn star.
Sadie Katz can play Russian.
Think she could play Russian? I'm going to ask her.
Sadie can play anything.
I'm going to ask her.
Sadie could play on pubic hair and make it sound like violin. Sadie Katz, I love her.
Let him in.
Meanwhile, Sadie's got this wonderful thing that she's doing on wherever. We'll talk about it later.
Hello.
Who's this handsome guy? Who's this handsome guy?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I want to know, do we pronounce your last name Suplee?
Suplee.
Suplee. Okay, because I went on.
Jimmy's got suck on the brain.
Yeah, I know. I went on YouTube this morning and plugged it in. How do you pronounce his name? And no, they didn't do it right.
No. And something I've had to with my whole life. My mother says it one way, my father says another way, and so I'm just kind of in between them.
I love it.
What is that? English or French?
French.
I pronounce it Suplee.
Suplee.
Yeah.
Suplee. And the French do a really weird version. I think they say Supplice.
So I would say in French it should be Suplee. Suplee.
Anyway, now we're gonna do an actual intro.
Really very handsome.
Hang on, I gotta do a real intro.
Wait a minute, I want all the women out there to know that
he's married.
I don't care, but listen, girls, go get your vibrators. He's really cute.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the amazingly talented Ethan Suplee. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me introduce you first to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hi. Welcome. We're going to have fun. I heard a lot about you. Jimmy's told me some things about you that I don't know that you want to discuss, but I understand. Maybe
no, you don't do it yet.
I won't do it yet, but I'm very proud of you is what I want to say. Very, very proud of you, because you know what? You just gave yourself health and 30 years more of life. If you know what I'm talking about.
I hope so.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
So everybody in the chat room is going, why are all the good ones married?
Because they are.
We have a chat room. Literally, we have Canada, Germany, England, all kinds of places. Tons of people in the chat room. So just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to brag some more.
Wait.
You just told me the other day we have over 1 billion
streams. No, streams. A billion means a billion people have watched our show.
A billion people have watched our show. I just got a heart on.
Yeah, so Ethan, say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, guys. Hello, everybody in the chat room.
And I didn't really even realize when I had you come on the show, because you know what, I only watched My Name Is Earl one time because Eddie Steeples came on the show and I had to see what it was like. And you've been on all these TV shows, and I really haven't seen any of the TV shows that you've been on. I've seen all the movies that you're in. And so I didn't even know you had this. So I put it up that you were coming on the show, and everybody's like, oh my God, My Name Is Earl. And they're putting up all these things, and I know what they are. Boy Meets Girl. What's it? Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World, yeah.
and all those things, but I didn't really know what they were, and people were just like freaking out because like I put a post, I got thousands and thousands of like people, you know, like making comments and stuff, and I was like, gee, all the things that everybody like loved you for, none of them were my favorite too. So before we talk about anything else, we're gonna talk about my favorite two, and then we'll talk about some other shit. But we should go with what Ron said first. So you guys, Ethan, if you guys watched any of the earlier 2000 movies, 2002, my favorite two, which I get to actually bring them in there, is the first 20 million is always the hardest, which I don't know if anybody ever talks with you about that, but I freaking love that movie.
Never.
And the second one is Remember the Titans, and he is the big, heavy-set, like really fun, everybody loves him, fat guy, really fat guy, because according to everything I've read, you've lost 300 pounds since then. And now, if you see the pictures of you in the gym and stuff, you're like a beast. Like
and you know what? You did the wisest thing you could possibly do. I'm 80 years old. You know why I'm still here and I'll be here for another 20 years? I eat correctly. I take care of my body. I don't abuse my body. And people that are 300 pounds overweight are abusing their bodies. I want that message to go out. And I want you to tell people that are watching, if you are obese, listen to what you've got to say and let them do what you did, because you look absolutely fucking fantastic.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that.
Oh no, you're good looking. As a fat guy, you must have been ugly.
No,
But
he wasn't. He was like the cute fat guy. He was like the cute fat guy.
Now he's a hot, sexy thin guy. Anyway, I encourage everyone out there. I have a simple math of losing weight. Eat less, weigh less. Eat more, weigh more. It's all in the portion. Eat everything healthy, of course, not McDonald's and crap like that. Eat healthy and eat small portions. Your heart will thank you. Your liver, you will not get cancer. I mean, you're going to live a long time now. But 300 pounds?
300 pounds. Yeah.
You would have been a goner.
And the very cool thing about it, I think, is because I feel like a lot of other actors, there's several other actors who have maybe not lost as much weight as you, but they were very heavy and they lost a lot of weight. And when they lost the weight, they also lost the acting roles, but you did not. Like you have continued to be in really huge
there's
movies.
Another thing about being super fat. When you're super fat, you don't feel sexy. And if you look down at your dick, it's not that big because you're so big. Right? Now, when you get thin like him, and you have a hot body, your dick looks great, you feel great, and your sex is the best. So fat people don't really have great sex. Skinny people do. Another reason to lose weight, folks, you get laid better.
So how long did it take you to lose the 300 pounds? I mean, I know it was a process.
Wonderful.
It was a process. Back and forth. I lost. I started dieting in 2002. Seriously, I lost a bunch of weight, and then went on My Name Is Earl. I gained a little back, and you know, the past 4 or 5 years, I've gotten very good at eating healthy, as Ron was
good
saying.
For you. Proud of you, kid. That could be your grandfather. I'm proud of you. You know, and keep it up. Don't gain it back. It's so fucking not worth it. I mean, look at how the broads now, they throw panties at you. I mean, before, what did they throw at you? Nothing. You were a fat guy. Now you walk around.
I think he was a famous fat guy.
Now if he walks around in a bathing suit, the broads are spreading their legs, smiling. I mean, come on.
I gotta say, I am married with four daughters, so I ever get any attention from the ladies. The people I do enjoy attention from are the other dudes who are like, wow, I can see what you're doing. That's the attention I swear to God.
Bullshit. Women look at you and they fantasize. They may not say anything. Hey, they look at me at 80 years old, and I got like 100-year-old women that say, "Oh, he's cute. I would date him. He's 30 years younger than I am."
Yeah, he gets hit on by everybody.
You know what I mean? So it's a man likes to be the peacock, and a man likes to walk into a room and have everybody say, "Oh, I'd love to suck his dick."
Oh, don't say that.
Well, it's true.
Go a little clean. He doesn't know us.
We're a very filthy show, and I hope your children aren't listening.
They're not. No, we are safe. We are safe.
We are an X-rated show. XXX.
No, we're not X-rated.
Well, we make Howard Stern look like an altar boy.
Yeah, I know we don't. So let's go back. So first of all, I want to get to his career now a little bit, because I'm super excited, because I'm actually we have great celebrity guests every week, but I'm a huge fan of you and a lot of the work that you've done. So before we talk about anything in particular, I want to brag a little bit for you, because it sounds better if I do it. So you guys, and this is just a very small sampling because his IMDb is so huge. He's been working for such a long time that it's not even funny. But I'm going to brag. Here's a few of the people that he has had an opportunity to work with. And I'm picking out the most notable. They might not be.
And I will raise my thumb if we know them or they've been on our show.
There's hardly any. The ones I picked out. He has been in movies with people that have been on our show, but I picked out the bigger people.
Any of my movie star friends?
I don't. I don't think you. I don't know. Here we go. All right. Oh yeah, you know Billy Bob Thornton. That's one.
I know Billy.
Okay.
Bob.
Edward Norton, William Dafoe, Bruce Willis, Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich, Nicolas Cage, Elijah Wood, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Felicity Jones, Elizabeth Banks. I put Ken Davician on there just because, like, we do know him. Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, Rob Reiner, Matthew McConaughey, John Bernthal, I know him. Kyle Chandler, Brendan Fraser, Mariel Hemingway, Danny Trejo, Danny Trejo and Chad Lindbergh, Denzel Washington many times, you guys. He's in like a ton of Denzel Washington movies. Lou Temple I put on here because he's been on the show. Rosarian Dawson, Chris Pine. Ron likes him because he's supposed to have the biggest penis in Hollywood.
That's not true. No, I just commented about it.
Kristen Bell, Christopher McDonald, who's been on the show. Seth Rogen, Billy Bob Thornton, Susan Sarandon, Amy Poehler, John Malkovich, Jim Broadbent, Joel David Moore, Angelica Houston, Dax Shepard, Matthew Lillard, Seth Green, Ashton Kutcher, Charlie Hunnam, Giovanni Ribisi, Donald Sutherland, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Brendan Gleeson, Natalie Portman, Jude Law, Nicole Kidman, Renee Zellweger. I wrote Cameron Bright because I like him a lot. Ray Liotta, Emma Roberts, Jamie King, Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz, David Duchovny, Julianne Moore, Edward Norton, Edward Furlong, Dan Aykroyd, Fairuza Balk, Stacy Keach. I mean, is that Rosario, Jake Busey, who's been on the show. Kate Bosworth, Ryan Gosling, Brett Rice, who's been on the show. So, number one, congratulations.
Why don't you just cut it short and say he's worked with everybody?
So, number one, congratulations on losing weight. Wow. Number two, congratulations on such a stellar career. And the fact that you've made these huge Academy Award blockbuster films, and then you have all these like cult films like Clerks 2 and Mallrats and Dogma, you know, like that have such these huge cult followings. So I think it's incredible. It's amazing, and congratulations.
I am flabbergasted, but I must brag. I was in a movie with Tab Hunter, Sophia Loren. So there you go. 100 years ago. Do you know who they are, Tab Hunter and Sophia?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Tab became my lifelong friend. I met him at 19 in that movie. And Jimmy and I saw him like 2 weeks before he passed. Sophia,
I think my parents went to college with Tab Hunter in Pittsburgh.
Tab was from New York.
He might have gone to college in Pittsburgh.
I don't. You know what?
Mellon?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he did, and then they moved to California. I'm vague about it, but it's in his bio. Tab was very private. Tab never spoke about his youth or his background for some reason, and he hated Hollywood. He hated all the bullshit they did to him, the pinup boy, because he was gay. He was lovers with Tony Perkins. I mean, when I met him, he was as gay as they came. Not gay enough to go to bed with me.
We should know, though. He should know, just so you know, we're married.
Yeah.
Just in case he's.
I mean, I would have gone to bed with Tab Hunter in a minute, but Tab and I just developed. I was 19. Years later, when I interviewed him on my show, I said something about that, and he said, "I missed you at 19. You were 19," because he was 26. I said, "Yeah, you stupid bastard. You missed me." But anyway, Tab Hunter was the most honest, sincere, down-to-earth, wonderful human being. So not Hollywood. He was everybody's buddy. He'd buy you a drink. He was a sweetie pie, and I miss him whenever we talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to So I know nobody talks about this film, and I don't know why. I had it on VHS and I wore it out because anytime I was like in I would get into a frump. I would like watch it. And you guys, everybody needs to watch this movie. It's called The First 20 Million Is Always the Hardest, and it's Adam Garcia and Rosario Dawson and Jake Busey and you, and I forgot the other guy. But it's a great movie about a bunch of kind of like misfits who go and make a computer. And it's an amazing movie. Adam Garcia is the love interest in that movie. What's that movie where they dance on the bar?
Strictly Ballroom? Was that what he was in? No, he was in.
No. What's the movie where they have the bar and the girls dance on the bar to get the people going, and they made restaurants after it?
Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, so he was the romantic lead in Coyote Ugly also, and he's the romantic lead with Rosario Dawson in this one. It's a great like family feel good film. I don't even know if you can even get it anywhere. But how was it like being because like your character is so like cool on that, and the whole film was so amazing. I really loved it. It's like such a great wholesome film.
Yeah, it it was really bizarre because the script was more of an R-rated script, and then as filming it, the studio kept making changes because they wanted a PG movie. So I think what we wound up with was something totally than what we set out to make, which is weird to have happen while you're making the movie. But it also I think got a lot wrong with where computers went. So
yes,
that kind of played against it. By the time it came out, I think technology had passed where it posited technology was going. It was a fun movie to make.
I didn't even care that the computer technology wasn't. It didn't even matter to me because it was just the way everybody interacted and the way the underdog wins, and that the big company tries to put the little people out of business and then they lose in the end. I mean, it was just such a feel good film.
But as far as switching a film around, I was in a red carpet. Producer comes over to me. He said, "You are so funny. You are so gay. You are so wild. I need you in my movie." I said, "Okay, send me a script." I got the script. I played a gay minister. I thought it was a lot of fun. We go to shoot, and he said, the director comes over to me, and he said, "Play it straight." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Play it straight." What is that stupid people I hate that run the films? The famous one that distributes films.
The distributor didn't want it to.
The distributor, I won't give the name, didn't want me to be gay in the movie. So, what the fuck did you hire me for? But anyway, when they shot the film, I was a little light in the loafer. So you can tell, but I wasn't outraged, but I was funny.
Yeah.
And how do you hire a comic and tell them not to be funny? Wait a minute. Did it ever happen to you where they hired you for one thing and then wanted you to be another?
No, that never happened to me. I mean, the biggest thing was something like with the 20 million one where it was a lot of dialogue changes to get curse words out. That's the most frustrating changes I've been to.
That's not too bad.
Kills a joke. If you don't have if the fuck's not in the right place, the joke is over. I mean, and it's not really vulgarity anymore. Today, it's part of English dialogue and language. Some of the most sophisticated, chicest, wealthiest people I know talk just like me, speak dirty words.
So my other film, though, that was my favorite film, and this is kind of like funny because the people in this film, everybody kind of like blew up, a lot of the people, and that's Remember the Titans.
It blew up like as an explosion?
No, blew up like they were like, kind of like getting well known, and then now like Ryan Gosling is in the film, and now he's like super A-list, and Kate Bosworth was in the film. So anybody who hasn't seen Remember the Titans, it's a Denzel Washington film with Will Patton, Donald Faison. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of great people. Hayden Panettiere is a little kid. Kip Pardue, Ryan Gosling, Brett Rice, who's been on the show. It's basically set in the time of segregation where it's a football team and the black team and the white team have to come together to play together on the same team,
right,
and what they go through. It's one of the most inspirational sports movies you'll ever see in your life. And your role is like when you say you're no brainiac and you're never going to college, and then you actually get a C average and shit. I was like crying and shit. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy, which shows that you're a good actor, that I'm sitting there like crying because you're going to get into college. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a pussy.
But you know what flips me out is Busey in that film was not attractive at all.
No, different film. Busey's not in the film.
I'm going to the Busey film.
No, but you're talking about Jake
Busey.
He looks like he always looks.
No,
that's because you think he's hot now that he's old.
We saw him at a red carpet. We spent an evening with him. He is absolutely gorgeous in person. He was the handsomest thing you ever want to see. Yet on film, he was not good looking.
But this is 20 years ago, too, when he was 20 years younger.
Yes, which brings me to age can make you look better sometimes. I mean, Jake Busey in person is a handsome guy. Tall, like blonde. Yeah, well, he's another one. I mean, so age is good.
So did you have fun? Did you have fun doing Remember the Titans? Because your character is really like the person who brings everybody together in the whole film, and the fact that you got Ryan Gosling and Kate Bosworth and I love I think it's Ryan Hurst. Is he the guy who was in Sons of Anarchy? Like everybody's like really cool. Like everybody in the cast is really cool. Donald Faison, is in Clueless, which is another one of my movies. My
Yeah, and
movies
please
that I like a lot.
share some stories with us about what was on the set. People love it. Our audiences love to hear what went on the set that's not public. So give us a couple of stories about funny shit that happens. We know things happen on the set. Funny stuff.
That movie I really enjoyed making. At the time, Donald Faison was the most famous of all of us. Ryan Gosling had been on the Young Hercules, I think was his only credit. Maybe the Mouse Club prior to that. I don't think Kate Bosworth had ever worked or not. It might have also been Hay Panettieri's first job. For me, it was kind of brutal because they had us do a football camp leading up to the movie. Like our whole rehearsal process was an actual football camp, and I'm so overweight, man, that just the stretching prior to the actual workout was horrendously brutal. I would just be done at that point. So I would have to sit there a few hours watching these guys exercise every day, 3 weeks. It was a tough movie to shoot physically for me from that standpoint. So a lot of my experience was just like, trying to get out of shots because they're so physical.
Yeah.
But any funny experience, anything silly that went on a set anywhere? I know Leo DiCaprio was kind of fun on the set. Was he on your set?
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
He's got a great set humor.
Yeah. The most fun antics stuff that I ever did was on the set Cold Mountain. We were stuck out in the middle of nowhere in Romania filming this movie, and one of the producers, Albert Berger, his son Ethan, was out. He was a teenager at the time, 15 or 16 years old, and him and I just went around playing pranks on people, like putting cellophane over their toilets, doing pretty awful things like
That's
just
great.
to
I love
pass
it.
the time. Yeah.
So
those are fun things.
Hang on one second.
Wait, one point. For those of you out there, when you work on a set, you think it's easy, right? Because we make it look easy. But we're very nervous. We're very worried about our performance, not remembering our lines. So there's a lot of tension on the set. So when somebody does a practical joke, it relieves the tension and you're able to go to work a lot nicer. Don't you agree with that? A lot happier.
Yeah. And we're also all off in like a breakfast type place in the middle of nowhere in Romania. So there wasn't even like you can get off work and can be alone. You were still like living room. You had a communal living room with all these people. So I think stuff like that was necessary.
We have one little thing, because we, for some reason, and she's not sure why, we're hearing you twice. Like we have like an echo.
That's because he's so
better?
nice.
Is it better if I'm closer?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
See?
Stay closer.
Wait,
that way we don't hear.
You're so nice. We hear you twice.
Yes.
I like.
Now listen, what does your wife think about the new sexy hot guy she's got in bed? I mean, did she like the chubby one too?
I think she prefers this guy, sure.
Sure.
But she put up a chubby one. And by the way, chubby, very nice way of referring to size.
Well, I have, unfortunately, I have two very wonderful friends that I love and adore who are extremely overweight. And I have been trying so hard. Well, one of them, I got her to listen. And now she's on a diet simply because she's 5 foot tall and she's about 200 pounds. And the doctor said to her, her knees are gone and her ankle. And if she doesn't lose 100 pounds, she'll be in a wheelchair. So when people hear that kind of stuff, the red flag goes up and you say, oh shit, food's not important anymore. Who wants to be in a wheelchair? I'm hoping for my friends to lose weight. I encourage everybody I know to lose weight. It's unhealthy. Cancer does go to people who are overweight. So anybody out there that's listening, don't hate me for what I say. Listen to me. Get inspired. Listen to
Get inspired. All you guys got to do.
This guy. I mean, this guy's gorgeous, and he's got a body of death. And he was a chubby checker. So now you could do the same. You could be a tubby and become a sex.
And if you guys want to see the transformations, if you're on Instagram, he's Ethan Suplee. On Instagram, it's ETHANSUPLEE. He's also that on Twitter. And on his Instagram, he's got pictures. He's got before pictures, after pictures, 20 years later
Okay, you know
pictures.
what? I'm going to make him a lot of money. All those products, wait a minute, listen to me, don't go away. All those products they advertise to lose weight, they should contact him.
No, because he did it the real way.
No, and do it the before and after.
Oh.
Because he's a perfect example of what Slim Fast or whatever the hell they are could do for you. Look at that broad, the Osmond sister. She's making a fortune.
Also, my business partner joined us. Say hi to Eileen. Just say hi, Eileen.
Eileen.
Hi.
I'm a publicist. Is how I support myself. So she joined us. She was interviewing Ice-T and Coco, so she couldn't.
Do you know who Eileen is?
No.
No.
How would you know Eileen?
I don't know Eileen.
Everybody's seen her breasts.
Oh yeah, right.
She's got the biggest breasts in the world.
So okay,
no,
so
really, she turns a corner. Her breasts go first, and 10 minutes later, she comes around the corner.
So wait a sec.
Seriously, if ever she banged into you, she'd pin you against the wall. You'd choke to death.
Which is
right
true.
Between her cleavage.
Which is actually true.
And I love her more than anything. She's one of my dearest and closest friends. Hey, Eileen, enjoy your little puppy.
Yeah, she
got a little dog. You know, she's a sex maniac, so we could talk this way. She got a little dog. You know what it is? It's a dachshund. What does a dachshund look like? A big fat penis. She even had to get a phallic symbol for a dog.
You gotta love it. So,
Eileen kisses.
So you've done a lot of.
Hey, Eileen, isn't this guy cute?
So you've done a lot of TV and you've done a lot of movies. Do you have a preference of one that you like better than the other? And the second part of that would be because Ron was saying, you know, like he trouble learning lines. Do you have a trouble learning lines, or is that something that's easy for you?
You know, I wish I could learn them just by reading them once. But if I put the effort into it, it's not. It takes time. I don't have trouble. If I estimate the right amount of time, I know I'll get them eventually.
Okay.
I have such difficulty that now I have about 6 movies coming up. I'm wearing an earplug like Johnny Depp does, and they're going to feed me my lines. Because at 80 years old, I have trouble remembering where my zipper is when I have to pee. So, no, it's hard. When you're my age, it's Jane Russell, who was my best friend. I used to say to her, Jane, I could get you in a movie, a very good film. Do you want to do it? She'd say no. And I'd say, why? She said, because I can't remember lines. And I told her, we'll put an earplug in. And then she'd say, oh, just leave me alone. You know, but as you get older, you don't remember too much of present. You remember yesterday.
So go back to the whole.
I mean, look at excuse me. Robert De Niro uses a plug. What's his name? The other one?
Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts uses. I mean, everybody's got an earplug now. So not to worry when you're 80 years old making film.
If you don't remember,
well, like me, you'll use an earplug.
So do you like doing movies better or television better, or it doesn't really matter as long as you like the project?
I think prior to having a wife and kids, I really liked being kind of dramatic and movies, but once I had a reason to want to be in Los Angeles, I preferred here, and so TV. Yeah.
Now, are you raising kids in LA?
Yeah.
Lots of luck.
I mean, I'm on my 4th. The oldest are in college now, and the youngest is now 13. I have been raising kids.
I raised 2.
Oh my God, I didn't know you were that old. Like to have a college age. Like I only thought. I don't know why. I thought you were like in your late 30s.
No, if he had a kid at 18 years old, he's not old. I raised 2 daughters partially in LA, in Beverly Hills, and then when I saw what my daughters were turning into, I quickly moved to Long Island, to Garden City, a very conservative, Republican, Protestant, kind of straight ass town, so that they wouldn't turn into druggies and whores. Well, that's what they were going.
His daughters are in their 50s, 40s, late 40s and 50s. 52
and 46. But they're wonderful women. And they didn't become.
Oh, wait.
I mean, although, you know, Angelina Jolie, Angie Boy, grew up in my house. She was my daughter Deirdre's best friend. And Angie turned out okay. And what people say about her is all wrong, the mean ones. She's the nicest girl. Did you ever work with Angie?
No.
Oh, you would be a delight, too. I would love to. But she's just the kindest, sweetest, most giving human.
So wait, are any of your kids interested in doing what you do?
No, none of them.
Good. Mine neither. I try to get my daughter to be an actress, Deirdre. She's a SAG member, and she made a couple of movies. And she said, Daddy, the day's work I get just isn't worth a year of wanting. She said, it's just too much wanting, too much game playing, too much. They talk dirty to me. They wanted me to go to bed with them kind of shit. You know, she just didn't care for any of it. And the older one just, she was a personal assistant to so many movie stars, and she was business manager for Sharon Stone and a bunch of people. And she said, I can't live in that world. It's too narcissistic. And no, I'd rather be with ordinary people.
So what about your wife?
Well, now my question's coming. You and your family are not Hollywood people.
I don't enjoy participating in Hollywood things. But my wife's father was an actor. But we're not raising the kids to be a part of this industry at all.
Good. So you're not Hollywood people. You know what Hollywood people are. All in a dream. They live in another world. They think who the fuck they are. All that bullshit. That's a terrible thing to teach children. You must teach children their worth, that they are as good as what they're worth, and their worth is what they become from your training. And I can see that you're a decent guy, and I think you're raising decent children.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, and I only have girls, and I cannot say that from what I've seen that it's a kind industry for girls. It might be changing, it be getting better, but it seems to be a pretty rough for girls.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think it's rough.
And I have, my one daughter was first runner-up Miss America, Miss New York, Miss Long Island, Miss Powers top model. So Leslie, growing up, I pushed her into that, and she hated it. She hated people looking at her, touching her. An hour to have her hair done, makeup for a shoot. She just went crazy from it. So my daughters really, they turned away from the business.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, as you know, you have to love this business to be in it, because it's a very tough business. You're always out of work. You're always looking for work. I mean, who the fuck wants to do that?
Actually, not him.
No. Well, not with the record that he's got. I mean, he's played with everybody and their mother. And a couple of those people are my friends, who I really like a lot.
I love the fact that your career that you have never been pigeonholed, because you've got comedy, you've got like heavy duty drama. I loved Evolution. We watched that during the pandemic, actually, just because it was on. And it's bad. American History X, I mean, is such a
No, I've got to say.
Wait, let me finish.
Wait, let me just. I'm old. I don't remember shit. It comes to me. I have to say, no smoke up your ass. But I really like your work. I think you're a natural. I think you are meant for the camera. The camera likes you. And I like the fact that when you speak words, you use expression. You make the words come alive. You just don't read lines like they do in the shitty movies I'm in. They all read. No, I said to one actor, listen to this now. I'm a cop in Pittsburgh. And I just found out that it's all bullshit, that he killed his brother. And they're trying to say it's something in the river monster that kills it. Now I'm yelling and screaming, I know what you did. You are a liar. That your brother, blah, 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 blah. And he said, what did he say to me? Oh, you're a bastard. Something like that. And I stopped the camera. I said to the director, oh, you got to be kidding. I said, this has got to be you're playing a prank, right? He said, no. So I said to the actor opposite me, I said, you know how to act? He said, yeah. I said, well, then do it. I'm screaming at you. I'm calling you a fucking murderer. I'm yelling at you. And all you say is, oh, you're a bastard, like a faggot. And you wasn't even, you were straight. I said, come back with me. Come back.
We can say that we're gay.
No, I said, come back at me. Come back, feed me, give me back. Never happened.
Yeah.
And if you see that scene, it's so pathetic. It just went right on its ass. Boom.
But now you forgot where I was. Okay, so
now you're getting old.
I know the fact that because one movie that we loved was Motherless Brooklyn. We saw that in the theaters. I guess that was in 2000.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
Edward Norton's one of his favorite actors.
I love. What is Eddie like? I mean, I would love to meet him.
He's a really, really nice guy. Incredibly smart. Not that he doesn't seem dumb. He doesn't seem uneducated or anything, but he's actually quite a smarter, I think, even than he comes off. He's always thinking very far ahead.
You're so lucky to have been in his
love
film.
that.
I would love to be in a film with him. He's one of my favorite actors. I love his work. He's another one that puts expression into words. You know, they don't do that anymore. See, years ago in Hollywood, you were trained. If you are expressing hatred, make your eyes hate. Today, they don't. They express hatred without the emotion, and it looks flat. It doesn't come off real. And I don't understand why they go to school to learn how to act and they don't teach this. Maybe they call it archaic or
Actually, did you
old-fashioned.
go to school? Did you go to school, or are you just a natural?
No, he's a natural. I can tell.
I had parents who went and majored in drama at college, and then were theater actors in New York. Before I was born, my pets were named Stanley and Stella, and there was always a plays being read in my house. So it was definitely around. I didn't go to school.
No, I could tell that you pull it out from your ass when you work. You really grab it and pull it out. I mean, you have to do that. You know, the camera doesn't lie. Camera sees things that you don't see in person. And actors don't get it. Like a lot of actors say, Ron, you're in the business. How many? I'm in the business 64 years. I've done television, movies, all kinds of shit through my life. And what have you learned? And I said, I've learned one thing. Make your words count, because you're not going to get another chance to do it. It's a one-take deal, maybe. Not if you're with Marilyn Monroe, of course, that's 73 takes. But if you're with a good actor, if they're going to break a studio apart, it's a one-take deal. They're not going to rebuild it to break it again. So make sure that your words work. Give them life. Bring life to your words.
How do you know? Because I don't know. I'm like, when you look at like all the things you've done, and people in the chat room are all going crazy and about all the different things. So somebody in the chat room, maybe we'll get one chat room question in. They want to know, what's your latest project? What do you got coming up next?
I have a movie coming out. I don't know if it'll be who knows when they actually come out. But I did it towards the end. You know, last year was a real clusterfuck.
Yes.
For everything. But I did manage to do a movie with Chin Tatum called Dog, which is about military vets who help through the use of military veteran dogs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Actually, we work with a charity called Dogs for Our Brave.
Yeah, Dogs for Our Brave.
And what they do is they actually find veterans with PTSD, and maybe they're missing limbs and stuff, and need the dog to be able to like open the refrigerator and do stuff for them.
Andy
Gladstein.
Andy Gladstein is the founder. I want to correct something. Did I say I was in the business 46 years?
64.
64, because I'm dyslexic. No, I'm in the business 65 years. Could you imagine being in this freaking business and I'm still alive and well? I mean, 65 years in this business. Boy.
Oh, they're talking about how adorable your rosy cheeks are in the chat room. All the girls are fainting.
They're starting in.
Starting in.
The girls are alive.
So do you have a film?
We have a lot of horny women that watch.
Do you have a film that was like one of your favorites, or a few that are some of your favorites? And how did you?
Of course, all of my films.
Yeah, no, not yours. And how do you pick some of your? Because like you're in so many huge blockbusters, and then you're in some really cool indie. Like I loved Art School Confidential. It had a great cast. It was a great film. And so how do you actually like decide what you're going to do?
Now my decisions are made primarily based around money and where the movie is going to shoot. Those are the big factors for me right now. If it's, I justify leaving my home to do an indie movie that doesn't pay anything. On some of those, you actually wind up spending money to do it.
Oh, I know that. I know
we do it all the time.
I know that. Yeah. I was on one movie. I got $200 a day. I started to laugh because that's not even lunch, and it cost us $100-something in gas to get there and back. So I worked literally for like $12. But that was wait. It's okay because it was a dear friend of mine that wrote the film and did it. So I would have done it free, which I have done films free for friends of mine.
Yeah, but he's a big star. He can't.
No, but when they offer me $175 a day, I say, listen, forget it. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
So go back.
Yeah,
okay.
I did a little movie not long ago called Gossamer, which was just one of these things where the script was good, that I was willing to spend money and do it, and you know, I'm not it's not really work at that point. You feel you're doing something artistic.
Yes.
Well, yes, if the script is dynamite.
Well, Art School Confidential was kind of like that.
If I could play, I'm too old, of course, but if I could play Streetcar Named Desire, I would work for free and I'd even invest in the film. I mean, I think that would be probably one of the most exciting roles I could ever play would be Streetcar. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, well, God, you could run with that baby. Look at Brando, what he did with it. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant performance.
Do you have a film that might not have been your favorite film, but that you had the best experience filming? Then let's go that way.
I got about 10.
No, not you. I'm not asking you. I don't care about yours. I want to ask.
I'm easing it in for him to tell the truth. So I said I have 10, so he'll say how many he's had.
I think that I really enjoyed working with Anthony Minghella. I don't want to single him out as being the best experience I've had, or that it's my favorite that I've been in. I did a TV series a couple of years ago called Chance, which was on Hulu. And I thought that was really knockout stuff. That material I would have taken a haircut to be in. And,
exactly.
It didn't get attention, but we did 2 years of it, and it's still on Hulu. That's one of my favorite things, and it's that old either.
Now, when they give you a script and you go to work, do you develop the character as you see it, or do you allow the director to tell you how he sees it and how you should perform it?
This is the main difference I found between television and film. If it's film, I definitely discuss this and figure it out with the director. Television, because you get a new director every week, I don't trust doing it that way, because then suddenly you'd be all over the place if some new director decides. So I have had, I wouldn't even say issues, but my problem with television is the fact that you do so many directors who come in and have the ideas for something which may be different than what you've been doing for 6 months.
Listen, I play mostly mafia Italian gangsters, okay? I'm from Brooklyn. I was raised with gangsters, so I know what that real shit is all about. I can play it better than anybody. Now I get a director from Connecticut who's a WASP Englishman, and he's going to come in and tell me how to use a Brooklyn accent. He's going to tell me how to be a gangster. I'll shoot him right on the fucking set. You know, I'll show him what a gangster is. I'll shoot him right in the eye, between the eyes. So that pisses me off. When you know that you could do that character better than anybody, and then they come in and they want to dilute it, get the hell out of here. How do you feel about that? Do you tell the director to go fuck himself or what?
Well, I usually run and talk to the producers and say, hey, listen, this is the direction that this guy's trying to go. Can you talk to him?
There you go.
The guy doesn't know his
He's
ass.
much more diplomatic.
Well, no. I've never told the director to go fuck himself, but I did walk off a film. And I've never done that in my life. I've never, ever done that. But I was so disrespected as an older guy and made fun of. And I just couldn't take it. And I felt it was total. You know, had it been a union production, I had a lawsuit, a major lawsuit, what was done to me. But I walked off the set, and they shot around me, and they were able to, it was the end of the film anyway. They were able to kill my character off without me being there. But
okay,
no,
so hold on.
I won't, at this age, at this point in my life, I won't tolerate
wait.
shit.
Okay, so I want to know, because you work with so many cool people. I'm a huge fan of Margot Robbie, and I'm a huge fan of Rosario Dawson. So like, were they cool? Like, are they cool and fun? I'm sure Rosario Dawson was. Was Margot Robbie cool?
Yeah, Rosario, I've done 2 movies with her, so I know her a bit better than I know Margot. I have a lot of fun with Margot too. She's certainly a lot of fun. She's quite a bit younger than I am, though, so you know that gets a way of creating a real lasting relationship. But Rosario's and first movie I did with her was that movie you liked, the For Million's Always the Hardest, and then 10 or 15 later I did another movie with her. She's awesome.
Yeah, I love her.
Who do you consider a good actress today? Who would you say is what female actress do you enjoy her performance the most of all?
Well, my sister-in-law, I have to say that she is at the absolute top of my list. Juliette Lewis.
Who's your sister-in-law?
Juliette Lewis. She's
Oh my
fan.
God!
That's your
How
sister-in-law?
fucking awesome!
Oh, wow.
Way to go! I love her.
Yeah, I do too.
I didn't know that.
That's a nice.
I love her music too.
Yeah, that's a nice. That's a nice sister-in-law. She's with it.
Yeah.
Outside of the family now, so you don't get beat up. Who is it that you think is? What actress do you look at and say, "My God, she does a wonderful job on everything"?
You know, I think the queen is Meryl Streep. It's hard to beat Meryl.
See, and I don't agree with that.
You don't love her?
No, I like her, but I know I'm crazy about that other broad. What's her name?
I like Charlize Theron.
Oh, Charlize Theron is a good actress. She's more beautiful. I'm talking about the blonde. We saw her in that movie where she was rich and then got poor and lived in a dump. I love her.
Oh, I've forgotten who that is.
You know who? She's a famous actress.
I forgot.
I've never seen Kate Blanchett.
Oh, Kate Blanchett. Yes.
I have never seen a performance by Kate that was bad. She becomes the character. She's a joy to watch because every move, every facial, her speech, even when she played Captain Hepburn's life.
Yeah.
I mean, she's she's better than Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep.
Everybody picks Meryl Streep.
No, but Meryl Streep is popular because Meryl plays Meryl.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
But Ron, listen, let's see what Kate Blanchett is doing in 30 years, because I think you're right. I think she's also fantastic.
Fantastic.
But you could tell me that she's better than Meryl Streep was 30 years ago. Meryl Streep's very similar to what you're saying about Kate Blanchett.
No, Meryl Streep. Listen, I was there when Meryl Streep started off in that movie about the kid in Central Park. What was it? What's his name? I forgot the movie. It was her first movie. She is a fan of Betty Davis's. I knew Betty Davis, okay? So I know who Betty was and what Betty was really like. So does Meryl. She only wanted to be Betty Davis, so she took roles where she could get out of character, change her hair color, wear bad makeup.
That's why she's good, though.
Well, excuse me. Betty Davis used to say this, and I shouldn't really repeat this. Let me think about it.
Well, anyways,
okay, Betty would say that half of her awards were due to the makeup, not necessarily the acting. She said, when you have to play an ugly old lady and you're young, you're hiding behind the makeup and the character. And the makeup and the character makes the scene and makes the acting. But when you are a washed woman and you are acting a scene out, that's when the true actress comes through. So most actors that hide behind makeup and effects, they're doing that job. Kate Blanchett is always washed. And yet she's marvelous. And I think in 30 years, she will be just as great as Meryl Streep is.
Yeah.
You're right, though, but time will tell. Time will tell because you don't really know. But
I won't be here, so send me a letter. But I mean, I adore Kate. And if I ever had to work with her, I'd probably pee myself. I mean, I wouldn't be able to even talk to her. I would say, oh my God, I'm just going to sit here and stare at you. Do you mind if I watch you work? I don't even want to be in your scene. I want to watch you. She's mesmerizing. Did you see her in that wonderful movie where she's a multimillionaire and then her husband goes to prison and she loses all her money and she goes back home to live with her sister in a dump?
I forgot that. Blue Magnolia or something.
No, Lavender.
Lavender Blue. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Alec Baldwin is the husband.
Her performance was drop dead. She went from a snobby Hampton girl on the beach, very fancy schmancy, down to a poor broad that almost had a job as a waitress. Wonderful portrayal how she transferred.
So hold on. So then let's go bucket list, because now you've worked with almost every A-list actor of today.
No, don't do almost. Do every.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see Charlize Theron on the list. She's my favorite.
I'm sure she will be soon.
She will be soon. So let's get who's a bucket list? Like, if you were able to choose someone that you haven't had an opportunity to work with yet, and you could pick a male and a female actor. Who is somebody who you think, oh my God, I'd really like an opportunity to work with these people?
Sure, the male Daniel Day-Lewis.
Awesome. He's one of the greatest actors of all time.
And Kate Blanchett.
I agree with you. She's an actress that feeds you. You could stand there like a moron, and after 3 lines from her, you know what you're doing. She's one of those. She's one of those actresses that puts all of it into it.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to work with. You don't want. I mean, I was on. I can't say
because we don't have a lot of
Well,
time.
I was on Charlie's Angels, and one of the stars on Charlie's Angels, a lovely woman. I loved her a lot, but between takes, she was doing lip gloss and fluffing and eyelashes, and when she came back on, she was in that mood, lip gloss and eyelashes, and not playing a hooker. And I thought, wow, you got to stay in character. In between takes, don't lose it, because if you got it, hang on to it, you can go. And it shows in that when I see that show, I forgot what number it was, but you could see her. She was a
All right, next bucket list. Okay, hold on. Next bucket
she was
list.
a prostitute, lip gloss and eyelashes.
So like if you could have been in any movie that's ever been made in history, and I realize all this is fantasy, but if there's any movie that's ever been made in the world and you could have been in it, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Great movie, especially the really the
No,
5
I
hour.
got the wrong movie.
Yeah, you got the wrong movie. You didn't like that one.
No, I liked it. No, I'm talking about the other movie.
Doesn't matter. Let him talk because we got to leave him. He's going to leave in a second.
Oh my God.
Are you thinking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh yeah, he's thinking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You're thinking Once Upon a Time.
No.
You like Once Upon a Time in America. That's an old movie.
Is that the one with what's his name?
No, he's thinking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He didn't like that one. He loves Once Upon a Time in America.
Once Upon a Time in America. It's a wonderful film, beautifully written. Everybody's performance was outrageous. It was a gorgeous movie, and the music, the score was out of this world. Those sequences in the restaurant with he and she are alone in that beautiful big love story not to be believed. Everybody watch it. What's his name is the star? The Italian actor, De Niro. De Niro is the star. It starts off where he's a little boy punk, hoodlum
Great movie.
in New York City, and becomes a big mafioso. Wonderful, wonderful. What part would you like to play?
I don't know. Do I have to steal somebody's part? I don't want to steal anybody's part. I'd be in it. I'll be
I'll be an extra.
No, I mean,
that's me. I'm king extra.
Fantasy. If you're fantasizing now, which part would you have played?
I guess the best role is Nero. That's the one. But
see, and I love the performance. I'm sorry, go.
When I watched that movie a lot, I was much younger. I related more with kids. So I think being part of that gang when we're all actual children is always what I thought would have been so much fun to do.
I would have played any part, even her part. Yeah, I would have put a wig on her lashes, and I would have done her. The movie is you and I have a good sense of choice. You're smart, like me. No, we chose the same actress in the same movie. I love that movie. Matter of fact, Jimmy, we should watch it tonight.
Yeah, we can watch it.
It's 3 hours long, but so worth it.
Yeah.
I love it. So we're gonna do. First of all, we're gonna do something we've never done before. We're only gonna keep you another couple of minutes.
Well, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he does because we have another guest coming on.
Okay.
I want to do something. I want to do something I've never done. We've never done this before. First, I want to tell everybody, you guys, you can follow Ethan Suplee. Again, go watch his Instagram. It's really amazing. Follow him on Twitter. He doesn't really need any more followers. He's got 1 million of them, but go ahead and follow him. Let him have more. He's such a cool guy. He's in so many amazing movies. We have these 2 guys coming on. We did a show last night called the Scene Snobs. Really cool guys, and I'm going to bring him in just for 2 seconds and let him say hi to you because I think they'll get a big kick out of it.
But also you.
Tell people to listen to podcast, American Glutton. It's all about weight loss.
Yes, American Glutton Podcast, which you tweet about it all the time. So hold on.
I want to say something.
I want to introduce you. He's not going anywhere yet.
Drives me. I want to do. Could you lend me money for a divorce? Listen, I want to meet you one day because I want a picture with you so I could put it up there with all my show-off pictures. Now go on, Mr. Manhattan.
All right, hold on. So Ethan, I'd like you to meet. Madman is Casey Plott. The Scene Snob is Mick Manhattan. They have a great show called The Scene Snobs. Just say hi. You guys say hi. I want to give you a chance to have some screen time.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Ethan. Nice to meet you, sir.
I'm a big fan. I'm a Jersey boy, so
nice.
You being in Kevin Smith's movies are huge for me.
Yeah.
Look Look at you being ganged up by 4 interviewers.
so
You're as big as Barbara Streisand.
So Mick, we're gonna because I don't want to like take advantage of Ethan, but I want give each one of you guys a chance. Ask him a question. Think quick. Ask him a question, and that way you kind of like get something because we've never done this before. Let anybody else talk to our star.
Never. We're jealous.
So it's a big thing. So Mick, you're up first.
One, I want to say thank you for American Glutton. That's a big guy. It really helps. And I really thank you for that. I watch your videos on YouTube. You're inspirational, man.
Thank you.
Well, then lose weight. Lose weight. Let him inspire you to lose weight.
I'm working on it. But I also
it's healthy.
I also want to say, have you seen The Sailboat yet? Come on, man.
I saw the fucking Sailboat, dude. Saw it. I had to have somebody send me a free image of it, and I saw it. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Good old magic
first, gentlemen.
All right. There you go, Casey. You're up.
Turns out it was actually a schooner.
A schooner, yeah. Ethan, favorite car?
Favorite car?
Mm-hmm. Or mode of transportation? How about that?
I don't care too much about cars. I have a giant diesel truck right now that I got kind of just to fuck with people in Los Angeles.
The most Jersey answer I've ever heard.
Yeah, and it does, and people don't like, and that makes me love it all the more.
I love that. I think that's freaking okay. And so
my favorite transportation is a broom.
Yeah. All right. One more thing. So you guys have a favorite movie? Ask him a movie question, and then we're gonna let him go into the earth and take off.
Go into the earth.
Go away.
God forbid the earth. He's gonna go into film.
No, he's gonna go in out. He's
gonna make another movie for me to enjoy.
There you go. So go ahead, you guys. Ask him something about a film.
There's so much you've done. I just want to say I love all your stuff. You're a great actor. I love your shows.
He is a good actor.
Oh no, Ron, he's a great actor.
No, great. Great exaggerates. Good is honest.
I think great.
No, good is more meaning. Good to me is better than everybody uses amazing, great, all these fucking words. Me, I'm old fashioned. I use good. Good. If you're good in Brooklyn, you're amazingly great all over.
There you go. Right. All right, go ahead, Madman.
Well, I'll just say. I just want to say real quick. Remember the Titans. With everything going on, that is a great movie to kind of reflect on and go back to. And your character in that movie is who people should strive to be like. Caring,
absolutely
loving character.
Yeah. I did the movie kind of immediately, or not immediately, but very soon after I did American History X. And I am so relieved that I got that balance because I've had people on line actually pictures of me from American History X angry, not realizing that it was that this is a character from a movie. So.
Oh wow, that's intense.
Real quick one from me. What's your favorite project where you've played multiple characters or multiple roles inside of the film itself?
I don't think I've done that. Have I done that? I don't think I've done that.
No, you're not. He's in the dream world. This number. Wait till I have to interview these two beauties. They're gonna slit their wrists on TV.
Listen, Madman, he played Vader's son. All right,
I did play Vader's son. I did. I mean, there was an episode of My Name Is Earl where I had to do impersonations of like Denzel Washington, Malcolm X, and the character Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. So I maybe that.
I think that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
That's very cool. All right, so Ethan, we want to thank you so much for coming on. You guys follow him, watch all his projects. It's really been a pleasure, and we've really enjoyed it so much. Thank you so much, and best of luck with everything you do. And if you got anything you want to promote, let us know. We do have 4.5 million
And
viewers.
I'm looking forward to running into you at a red carpet or something in LA. We'll shake hands and have that picture that picture together.
Yes.
Ethan, thank you so much.
Take care, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And do what you're doing with your family. You're on the right track.
I love it.
Listen to Grandpa. I know what I'm talking about. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay happy.
All right, Ethan. Thank you. Bye-bye.
What a nice guy. Look how handsome he is. He lost that tonnage. If you lost a couple of 1,000 pounds, you'd be a doll, too.
right, everybody. So now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. The scene snob is Mick Manhattan, and the madman is Casey Plott. We were on their show, the Scene Snobs, last night. We invited them to come on today.
So fucking boring. I was so bored. What an
It was the worst. I had no idea why you guys even stayed. I'm surprised you didn't just take off.
Well, I stayed because I did LSD and I thought I was tripping, but I wasn't because it really was what it was. No, we had a ball. It was a good show. You two were fun. Hey, we wouldn't have invited you back so soon or ever. For that. You guys are okay in our book. When we come east, we're going to see you guys. We're all going to hang out. In fact, I think they're doing a surprise party for Jimmy and I, all our New York gang, when we come back. So I'll tell them to put you guys on the list.
And so how cool was that, though, to talk to Ethan? Isn't he cool?
That was amazing.
Thank you so much for that.
And he is gorgeous. You know, when he was a fatso, he wasn't so hot looking. Now he's sexy and beautiful.
Hey, 300 pounds.
300 pounds he lost. Who the fuck loses 300 pounds? I have to lose.
That's two of me.
Yeah, and I have to lose like 10 pounds that I'm having a stroke. Could you imagine having to lose 300 pounds?
Oh, and I forgot shit, I forgot to ask him about The Hunt. Did you guys see the movie The Hunt?
Yep.
I have not yet.
Oh, it's so brutal.
It is like one of the most brutal movies ever, and it is fucking awesome. And he's like in it at the very beginning. Like, you know, it's a movie where they have all these famous people, and at the beginning, all the fucking famous people get killed right on the first like 20 minutes. Like all the really famous Emma, what's her name? Emma Roberts gets killed. Like all these super famous people. The guy from played Aquaman from This Is Us that we talked about last night's in it. He gets killed. Everybody gets killed at the beginning, you know, and you're left with like two people. And it's a freaking. Everybody needs to see The Hunt, and he was in it. I forgot to mention. I wrote it on my notes, but I didn't mention.
Darling, you mentioned enough. And this guy's worked with everybody in Hollywood except me, of course.
I know. We'll have to see what we can do about.
When Jimmy said to him, you know, what's your favorite movie? I had to say mine.
Yeah.
He started to laugh. I don't know if he researched me and saw the titles of my movies, but they're a laugh a minute.
You gotta like.
And I got 6 more beauties coming up. I love them.
All right, mine are good. Don't put mine.
No, not yours. No, I have 6 plus your 3. That's 6, 7, 8, 9 movies coming up. But I have 3 right soon coming in another couple of months.
So you guys too. Then we have a chat room filled with people. There's a bunch of people in it. Teresa's in our chat room. She was in your chat room last night when we were on your show. Say hi to everybody in the chat room and give them all a plug. Tell them where to see your show real quick.
Hi, chat room.
What's going on, chat room? I am Mick Manhattan, as Jimmy and Ron said, and of course I'm joined with my best bud, the madman Casey Plott.
That's me, y'all.
We are from the Scene Snobs. We're from the scenesnobs.com. We're a channel podcast. We host the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday. We're just all about having fun and entertaining. That's really what it's all about for us.
Dancing naked in the rain whenever possible.
Yeah, and if you have trouble sleeping, watch this show.
Oh, we'll put you right to it.
Right to sleep.
Done.
Not really. That's a joke, everybody. You know, last night we discussed my humor and how it's not in vogue anymore and that everybody takes me seriously. Now, how many people are going to say, well, that Russell's such a nasty fuck. Look what he said, that their show puts us to sleep. It's a joke. You're supposed to go,
I laugh. Isn't that all that matters? I'm your audience right now, Rob.
Yeah, but now that Jimmy said over 1 billion people watch our shit,
have watched us.
or have watched us, I think, Jesus Christ.
So you guys also, though, should say real quick, because you got some of your co-Scene Snob group podcasts. Right. Say hi to the Funny Science Fiction podcast and the 3 Geeks Network.
What's up, gentlemen?
Tim from Funny Science Fiction is the man. We've had him on the show plenty of times. And 3 Geeks Network is actually a part of the Scene Snobs. We love those guys. Jason has become a very good close friend. And, thank you guys for watching tonight. Everybody
there you go. I love it.
So did we do good last night? Were you pleased?
Absolutely. Y'all were fantastic.
You guys
all
did
carried
great.
the show. Mine was weak.
Yeah, we didn't do so great. We were like,
well,
okay.
That's because you both stink. But
valid. I mean, it takes time.
No, you know what, folks, everyone out there listening, Jimmy and I have been doing this forever. You cannot interview us. It's an impossibility. We always wind up interviewing the interviewer. And when you get 4 people that are in the same racket interviewing, it's a chaotic mess because we are both asking each other questions. And Jimmy and I took over their show about 12 times, and we had to say, okay, guys, now you ask us a question. Bring it back. we're not like our guest we had now. He was so nice and polite, and he let us interview him. He didn't interview us.
They say in the chat room, Mick is one of the nicest guys that they've ever met. So Casey,
Nick who? Who's Nick?
Mick.
Oh, Mick. Nick.
No, I'm a nightmare human. I don't think
They
anyone
didn't,
likes
they
me.
didn't mention you, Casey. They didn't mention you. You're fucking
No.
shit out of luck.
I'm a jerk. Why would they mention me?
It's the hat.
Oh, come on,
hat.
Casey. You're the best. You know that.
Oh,
No,
cut it out. Come on.
It's the blue hat.
What
That
hat?
Yeah,
that
I love
hat
the
blue.
banana collection.
So
I
wait,
would
wait,
get
wait.
rid of
that-
it,
is
but
that a blue-
I've got this terrible hair situation that just looks awful. I'm
Oh,
trying
wait.
to grow it out into the Mel Gibson mullet from the '90s. So it's in
Okay.
process.
No, I thought you had like that was your hair and you made it blue.
Oh no, I'm not that extravagant.
So Casey, what does your shirt say today? Yesterday you had on Halloween. What do we have today?
I did today is remember the Cant.
I don't
Big
even know what
fan
that
of
is.
the
Wait,
Expanse.
remember the cunt? What
Oh,
did
the
you say?
Expanse. Remember the can. Not
Oh,
the
I thought
cunt.
it was C-U-N-T. C-A-N?
Well, it's nice because I like to give off that impression right away, Ron.
No,
That way they know who I
listen,
am.
I don't have my glasses on and it looked like C-U-N-T, but it's C-A-N-T.
Well, that's
Right,
why you
okay.
think I look ugly. If you put your glasses on, I'm gorgeous.
I know that.
Casey has some exes that are very upset with his shirt right now.
What happened?
He said Casey's got 5 exes that are not a fan of his shirt right now.
You mean you were married 5 times, Casey?
No, just
Oh,
girlfriend,
negative.
probably.
No, too many see you next Tuesdays in my world. I'm okay.
Oh my gosh! Did you get that?
Of course I did.
I've never heard
Oh,
that
you
before.
never- what-
Have you guys ever heard of that?
As
See
a-
you,
We said that as a kid. See
Thursday.
you next Tuesday.
Mhm.
and that's a way you
Yeah.
can say, "Hey, everybody, you can cunt us next week on the Scene Snobs."
Precisely.
we used to say that as kids. That's an old expression from when I was young.
Well, oldie but a goodie. You know, you got to pull them out sometimes.
That's
Oh,
right.
Goddess joined us too. Hey,
Goddess,
Goddess.
you son of a
Say hi,
bitch.
Goddess.
Where are
Hi,
you?
Goddess.
Hi.
Where are you,
Always a
my
pleasure.
sweet Pete? Where are you? You come and go in my life, Goddess, like the plague.
This is Astro, our little dog. One of our little dogs.
7 pounds.
And he named him Astro.
Yes.
I love it.
One of our dogs' names is Astro.
And Shazam.
Our other one is Shazam.
And Brenda
And then the
Starr.
other one is Brandy, but we call her.
No, her name is Brenda Starr.
But
If
we
you
call her
remember Brenda
Brandy.
Starr, the reporter from the Daily News. But Brenda Starr was too long, so we call her Brandy.
Well,
Or
you got
Brandy
some you
Girl.
can yell out.
We
you
have
know,
three.
front
We
door
have
when
3
you allow 'em.
rescues.
Yes. So they're 3 different. One of them's a Brazilian Mastiff who weighs like 130 something pounds. And he's like mean. He's a feel of
And
it.
this one weighs 7 pounds.
And then we have like a 35
Wait a minute.
pound.
And you got to see the 7 pound push the big one around, and the big one listens like a big schmuck.
Yeah, he's got
No.
a bed that's literally like a huge bed because he's huge. And she'll go over and bark at him, and he'll get up and leave the bed, and she'll sit in the middle of it.
Him not a shit.
Yeah, he'll sit in the middle of it. And he's like as big as like a thumb on a couch pillow.
He's
I mean,
only
like,
7 pounds.
He's like so tiny, it's hilarious
And the
to
big
watch him
jerk
do that.
is so afraid of this little kid.
That is awesome.
Everybody out there, rescue! Don't buy a puppy milk. Puppy milk.
All right, so let's go back because I want to talk horror a little bit since we didn't get to do it. First of all,
Let's do
we
it.
should let you guys ask us since yesterday we took over your show. We should let you take
No,
over our
fuck
show.
them, and we're gonna ask them.
You guys have the better stories. I mean, why we got nothing to add to that?
Sure, you do. I
Oh,
want
we
to.
have tons of stories. They're just not
So wait,
fun
wait.
or interesting.
I want to know, Scene Snobs, Mick. What are the pictures on your right, my left? What are they pictures of?
These are actually it's the Jason Takes Manhattan, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Halloween 6.
Oh, there you go. Why Halloween 6?
Well, all 3 of them were like those movies that I became aware of each of those franchises based on these movies because I was just at that age and the market, right? And they're just like probably the worst in the series.
Yes, they probably. I was going to say they kind of are like not the best ones, but I actually have a 6 foot tall electronic mechanical Jason in my office, and he makes the noise, and he has the machete, and he swings the machete.
He gets a knife like this, and if you have an erection,
No,
you put it in his hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's great. It's a great way to
Well,
get
that's
out.
a good way if you're ever feeling lonely. It's fantastic.
I was actually really good friends.
Who
too.
else can say Jason gave me a hand?
I was really good friends with Steve Dash, and Steve Dash was the first Jason before Jason had the mask and he wore the bag. Steve Dash was Jason, And and actually, he lived in Florida. And back when we used to live in Florida and we did the show out of the W4CY studios, he actually came into the studio and did it with us. And it was a lot of fun. He was very cool.
I had no idea who he was or what Jason was.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I know, but he's
Well, Jimmy, what's your favorite in franchise? Which one your favorite movie?
I think Saw is my favorite franchise. The Lost Boys is my favorite movie. I like all the franchises, and if it wasn't Saw, I would say Hellraiser, because I'm pretty good friends with everybody in the Hellraiser series. They've all been on our show multiple times. Like all the Cenobites have been Barbie Wilde and Vince and Simon. I forgot their last names on the spot, but like they've all been on the show. Like every Halloween, they come on the show.
And Jimmy gave me, I don't know what they're called, but they're dolls of the Golden Girls.
That has nothing to do with it.
No, that's a franchise.
That's a franchise. That's true.
Absolutely, a strong franchise.
Did you guys ever see the movie Martyrs? Because to me, that's the creepiest horror movie of all time. I watched it one time, and I don't even know if I could ever watch it again.
It's so rough. I don't think I could ever go back.
I'm not even religious, and it was so intense that I'm not even religious, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even watch this.
Yeah, I think a Serbian film is about as far as I ever got.
Oh, that was a bad one too.
Oh
Ooh.
God,
Yeah.
I just refuse to watch that. I'm just like,
it's probably smarter, bro.
I know it's there. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, that's a little bit too intense for me too. I think one of the ones I really like the Hellraiser one when they were in outer space a lot, even though it's dumb. I mean, it's dumb as shit, but it was a really good one when they were in outer space. I can remember being in the movie theater and the dog thing I think jumped out. The three-headed dog jumps out or whatever, and I threw my popcorn and my drink on the person in front of me, so I almost got my ass beat because it scared the shit out of me.
You're also 2021.
You like horror movies. He just likes the black and white. Like you like the actual.
We were talking about monsters. Jimmy said that. Who did you say was the best of all of them? The guy with the mask and the knife.
Michael Myers is the biggest icon.
And I said yes, but if it wasn't for Frankenstein and Dracula and Wolfman, there would be nothing today about horror movies. Years ago, in the 1930s, which I wasn't around, but I learned from my mother, who was an actress, that when Frankenstein and the Wolfman and those people came out, people were appalled. They were not happy with this. They thought it was very bad for children to see. It was grotesque. It was hideous. And Frankenstein was the most disgusting thing anybody could ever want to look at. And he was terrifying. So, of course, when the producers heard that, they went and made 7 or 8 sequels, to each one of them, because it's a moneymaker.
I like the Wolfman.
But if the censors and if the population then had won, there would be no horror people today. No. Because remember, Dracula stands on Bela Lugosi's shoulders. Frankenstein, Myers stands on his shoulders. So let's give credit and remembrance to those wonderful monsters of the 30s, 40s.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah,
University
deserves all that credit.
The movies was terrible. They were corny as all shit.
But they weren't for back then. We watched Flash Gordon the other night from when he was a kid, and that was his favorite show ever. And I mean, you see the wires and everything on the
Oh my God, it was
so
bad, and the acting and the directing and the dialogue. But as a kid, I thought it was heavenly.
And there's a guy here who lives in Palm Springs, which I was fortunate to be invited to go look at his collection. And he has the actual what do you call it?
Stratosled.
Stratosled he has the actual one from the 30s or 40s TV show, Spaceship. He has an actual C-3PO, and he has Robbie the Robot, and he has all these he's got millions of dollars worth of all these great things, and you're not allowed to take pictures when you go, but I got invited to go look at it because they knew I collected stuff, and it was such a cool thing. Also,
that's fantastic.
Jason in the chat room says that he loves your Star Trek pin.
Appreciate it, Jason.
And just to let you know, my business partner, Eileen Shapiro, who's the coolest chick on the planet, she actually used to interview all the Star Trek, the original Star Trek people, and she wrote the original Star Trek medical journal that was a New York Times best-selling book, and she's the one who actually wrote it.
Oh wow!
Oh, when we do Star Trek Week, we'd love to have her on and talk about it because we do.
No, you cannot have her on the show.
No, okay, Ron. What if we do it with you?
Her. No, you can have her.
No, you can't have her because you don't have CinemaScope cameras. And in order for her tits to come on the show, you need CinemaScope. Because her tits will go from screen. You won't see her. All you'll see are 2 gigantic mountains with a little hair sticking up between them. That's her head. So you need special cameras to do her.
No, she's super because she's got like she like she knew Leonard Nimoy. She knew all
Is
of
she
them.
still in the chat room?
I don't know if she is or not because she had to interview Ice-T and Coco,
Right.
so I'm not sure. But anyway,
Is Ice-T coming on our show?
we're working on it.
I like him.
Yeah,
I want to ask him about Law and Order.
Yeah, he's on Law and Order. So all right, so Mick, you were going to say something before I so rudely interrupted you.
No, hey, listen, you guys were talking about Flash Gordon. We're big fans of the Flash Gordon movie from the 80s.
No, that's what's his name.
That's
Sam Jones was played him.
I have been trying to get Sam Jones. I have his email and everything, but he's so busy. I haven't been able to get him on the show, but I'm trying to get him.
I went on my computer and I looked up Sam Jones. What comes up with a picture of him young, naked? He's got a schlong on him down to his ankle. I mean, nobody knows it, but the guy is hung like a fucking mule. And
surprised you wound up not doing porn.
Well, I said to myself, why are they showing me this picture? I want to see Flash Gordon. And I typed in Flash Gordon.
But there's also, that there's a lot of sex porn films called Flash Gordon.
No,
they're not. Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Yep.
What I found out was, here's what I found out was, when Flash Gordon was originally shot, it was called Flash Gordon, and it was porno. Then they cleaned it up and made it into a regular film. But most of the footage that's clean is from the original Flash Gordon. Not too many people know that, but I found that out. So I guess you did see Sam Jones Wangola somewhere in that movie.
Because I'm a big fan of the Ted films, and in the Ted film, especially the second one where he's like in it a whole bunch. I actually love him, and we had I think it's the second one or first one he's in. I forgot. Maybe he's in both.
Oh, he's in both.
He
marries Ted in the second one.
I liked him at Comic-Con. Yeah, like when he was at Comic-Con. And we had Patrick Warburton on our show when one of the Ted films came out, and he's the Tick in Ted. He's like the guy who gets married. Yeah, he's the guy who gets married in it. And he was hilarious on our show. We had such a good time with him.
But the same thing happened to Superman. To what was his name?
Christopher Reeve?
No, the one before him.
George Reeves.
George Reeves. His career went nowhere. He was Superman. He couldn't work at anything else. And the same thing happened with Sam Jones. He was Flash Gordon, and they couldn't see him as anything else but Flash Gordon. He was in a war movie with a scar on his face, but we still saw Flash Gordon.
He got out of acting, and he became a big-time security rep. He owns his own security company with bodyguards for the famous and such.
Good for him.
He's supposedly like a big badass.
Well, yeah, if you get in his way, he takes out his wank, clubs you with it, and you're dead.
Yeah, it's pretty effective.
So who's your favorite Superman of all the people that have portrayed Superman? Who's your favorite one?
Oh, Christopher Reeve.
Me too.
Yeah,
all about Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve, definitely.
I have the Christopher Reeve action figure Superman, and I have Gene Hackman and one of the other bad guy. Who's the bad guy? In the original one, that's the three bad guys. One of them was Terrence Stamp. I have the Terrence Stamp action figure.
Yes.
And I have the Gene Hackman one, and then we just had Jack O'Halloran on our show 2 weeks ago. He plays the other guy. Yes. Do you guys know Jack O'Halloran?
Yeah, I've had Jack on the show. I talked to him for a while, but I could not get past Superman was fine. I love Superman. I loved him in it. And we were talking about it a little bit, but I was just more like, all right, tell me about the Mafia, man, because that guy, his family legacy is insane.
Have you read his book?
I have his book.
Yeah, I read it after the interview.
I'm reading it now. We got it on eBay. Absolutely, what he's saying is true. But there's one point that he leaves out is how kind the people that are in organized business are. They are not nice to the people that betray them, or people that betray them, squeal or do dirty shit. I know so many of them who are dear, dear, dear friends of mine, close, good, wonderful friends. They're the best parents. They're the best friends to have. They're the funniest people to be with. They're just lovely people. Now, you say, okay, but they kill people. So does Washington. They killed Marilyn Monroe. They killed Dorothy Kilgallen. They killed quite a few famous people. So what they so-called mafia does, Washington's been doing for 100 years. Illegitimate everything. All the presidents we've had, they've all been disgusting in some respect, one or another. All kinds of sexual stuff, islands they go to bang young kids. I mean, all that nonsense is finally coming out.
Yeah.
But to say the mafia is the most horrible people in the world, not true.
No, they're only horrible to rivals, really.
No, not even rivals. They're horrible to each other if the person doesn't do the job they're supposed to, if they squeal, or if they betray. Once you go into that organization, you know, you're warned, you're taught. You are family. You do not go against us. You do not tell any of our secrets, and you deny there is a thing called a mafia. If you betray any of this, you're dead. And people know it going into it. But greed and stupidity, they think they're going to steal money from the mob and get away with it. So they knock each other off. But as I say, if you go to their homes, which I have done and I still do, the food is wonderful. The parents are fat. The grandparents are cooking. The kids are playing. They're just lovely people. So the nicest of people.
In the chat room, they're saying Christopher Reeve's the best Superman, and Somewhere in Time. They love that movie.
I love Somewhere in Time.
He loves that too. That's Angela Joseph. She's the coolest.
Oh yeah, and the soundtrack, of course, is what's his name's music, the composer, not Chopin.
And Funny Science Podcast likes Henry Cavill. So let's go back to Halloween then. Who's your favorite Michael Myers?
I gotta go the first one.
I'm Nick Castle guy.
Yeah.
Was Nick Castle the first one or the second one?
He was the first one, but he wasn't the guy that they pulled the mask off of. That was
that's the guy from Clown Motel. That's the guy from Tony something.
Yeah, Tony Moran, was it?
Yeah, Tony Moran. I thought Tony Moran was the first Michael Myers, and then Nick Castle
was the one who had
my movie, my Clown Motel.
He's in the first Clown Motel.
Oh.
Wasn't Tony Moran the first Michael Myers, or they just used him for a second or something?
Just for his face when they took
the
mask off. But it was Nick Castle under the mask the entire time.
Yeah, I think Nick Castle's the best one too.
We're raising money.
I went to a Thing convention. I went to a convention, and they had the cast of the Thing there, and Dean Kundi and Nick Castle were both there, and they came over and had drinks with us. And all I wanted to ask Dean Kundi was Back to the Future questions, and Nick Castle was the only one answering them for me.
I've met him once, and I thought he was like really cool. And I haven't met the new guy. What's the new guy's name? James something. I follow him on Twitter. The guy. Because did you like the last Halloween that they did, where like she had the fort underneath the house? And
it was amazing.
Oh,
I loved that. The way they continued the story and just made her a paranoid person, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too. And I used to know really well Danielle Harris, and she was in like the one of them, and so we used to talk a lot. Number 4, yeah.
I wanted to segue into a plug.
Okay.
There's a movie that we're raising money for called Clowny. I'm in it. And if anybody out there is interested in being in the film, they're offering you a part if you, I guess, put money into the film. So
it's on Indiegogo.
It's on Indiegogo, and the film is called Clowny, and it's produced by Joseph Kelly. And my character we're creating now, and I'm so happy that Joseph Kelly is allowing me to design the clown that I will be, and how I'm going to be Mr. Magic Clown from Magicville.
They need the Madman in there because the Madman can do voices.
Are you good at voices?
I on occasion can do a few. I mean, there's this guy, Christopher Walken. I don't know if you know him. Pretty good guy.
Well, I know.
He actually knows it.
I grew up with that son of a bitch.
Get out.
Oh, Chris.
There's a fucking anybody Ron hasn't done.
No,
every time I pull something out, Ron's got a story. I love this.
Listen, Chris Walken came from Astoria, Queens. I came from Astoria, Queens. I used to go to confraternity in the church and dance with his ex-wife. Chris and I used to ride the BMT subway from New York to Astoria, Broadway, and 31st Street at 3 a.m. He was doing, he was in The King and I. He was playing one of the kids in The King and I was working, I think, in one of those clubs where you stood up and you did comedy, like a comedy store thing down in the Village. And Chris and I would gab forever. All my birthday cakes came from his aunt's bakery, which was Walken's Bakery, right on the corner of Broadway and 31st Street in Astoria. I know Chris for 100 years. His wife is a doll. I've spoken to her not long, his ex-wife. I would love to run into Chris His brother owned a nightclub on Broadway in Astoria, which was mafia connected. Oh yeah, I have stories.
What's my favorite Christopher Walken?
He's a nut. I love him.
I love the thing that they do with the cowbells on Saturday Night Live. That shit was hilarious. And in Wedding Crashers, when he's like talking to Vince Vaughn on the bed, and Vince Vaughn's like ball gagged and chained and shit. You know, when he's like talking to him like it's like no big deal. I thought that shit was so hilarious. I mean, he's made a lot of great movies, obviously, but I thought that shit was awesome.
His comedy is wonderful. He's got such fantastic timing, and his even dancing. I mean, the guy can do it all.
Oh, that music video he did where he dances all around.
Excuse me. The pictures his aunt had in the bakery above all the cakes was he's a ballet dancer. He's ballet trained. He went to school to learn ballet. You see him in his tutu, not tutu, in his tutu. Wait a minute.
You heard it here first, folks.
Wait, Chris, if you're listening, I'm sorry. In his leotard, dancing. He was first a trained dancer. That's why he was in The King and I. He sings and dances. The thing I love most about Chris Walken is when he speaks, he smiles at the same time. And so many people don't do that. You know, I can't do that. But he's a terrific fellow. And I remember he used to wear skin-tight white dungarees with red socks and white tennis sneakers. And I would wear the same back in the 60s, actually late 50s, early 60s. That's what we wore. He was as skinny as a rail. The two of us looked like we were starving to death. And he's just as I would love to spend an evening with Chris.
Did you guys see Fat Boy Slim video that he did like back in the day?
Yes, sir.
That's like one of the greatest music videos ever. Ron probably hasn't seen it, but like it's Christopher Walken dancing like throughout.
I've seen Chris dance. I saw him dance in that movie with
but this is different.
Where what's his name? Where what's his name was in drag.
Fat Boy Slim.
No. What's his name? The one that. What's
got 51 million plays on.
No, what's his name? The guy from Brooklyn, the actor.
I don't know. There's like a million actors from Brooklyn.
the one that danced on the floor that I danced on, the lighted floor, the lit floor.
Oh, John Travolta.
John Travolta was in drag, and Chris Walken was his husband.
Hairspray, when they remade Hairspray.
Hairspray. And Chris.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was hilarious.
Chris danced in that. Chris is a cool guy. I'm gonna look that son of a bitch up one day.
So wait, last night you guys asked me my favorite superhero movies, so we're gonna throw it back on you guys because we didn't ask. You guys didn't answer. I answered. Ron just goes to see them because I like them.
Who?
Superhero movies. So
I hate them all.
So what do you guys?
They're so boring.
What's your favorite superhero movies, or who's your favorite superhero? Go ahead. You go first, Mick.
Well, you know, Marvel has done such an amazing job with the movies. It's hard to choose. I just love them all. I will. So I'm gonna cop out and say '89 Batman. That's always a go-to for me. I'll always.
Who's the Batman in that?
Michael Keaton.
That's Michael Keaton.
The only Batman. Best Batman.
Best Batman. Do you guys like Ben Affleck as Batman? I think Ben Affleck's a shitty Batman.
George Clooney was a good Batman.
George Clooney was all right. I felt like he was a little too much Bruce Wayne, not enough actual Batman.
No, he was very sexy. He was hot.
Oh, that's just because you thought he was hot and sexy.
And I thought as Batman, he was a great man.
With those huge nipples, I'm sure.
Yes.
Who wouldn't want to get hit with Batman's bat?
I'm not really like I'm a big Ben Affleck fan, but not Ben Affleck as Batman.
No,
I am though very much looking forward to Robert Pattinson as Batman.
That'll be fun. A very interesting dark take on it. And I agree. Batfleck was terrible. When he ran out of bullets and that was his option, that was bullcrap. I was out.
And when they did that shit, like, because I really, and I took Ron to see Batman versus Superman or whatever.
Oh,
and Ron was having a heart attack. He's like, why are they fighting each other and Superman can't die? And Ron he was literally losing his shit. He was just like, this is the worst piece of shit ever.
Because I was raised like with comic books, and Superman was a Superman, and he set an example for all of us kids when we grew up. He taught us honesty and not to be mean. You know, he was a wonderful character. And now suddenly they're beating the shit out of him and they throw him in a garbage pail. Get out of here.
All right, so hang on. Go ahead, Casey, your turn. Like, favorite superhero.
For me, right now, the one that I've got constantly on replay is actually Spider-Man Homecoming.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
I think that he is a great Spider-Man. I think he's super cool. And
Michael Keaton as the Vulture was fantastic.
Yes.
I love the Joker.
Oh, I like the Joker too.
Joker's my favorite ugly character in those stupid movies.
But
I love the Joker.
Let me go back to the Spider-Man thing because Tom, what's his name? Tom
Holland.
Holland, yes. He is actually. I mean, he's a young kid. Compared to us at least, he's a young kid. Maybe not you guys, but compared to us, he's a young kid. But
compared to us, he's a young kid.
But I was like just looking at different things because I like to watch sometimes at night. I watch videos at night to fall asleep on YouTube. And so there's these videos like celebrities doing surprise things or whatever. And he's like going to the hospital dressed as Spider-Man, meeting terminally ill kids and stuff like that. And I mean, he's just a good guy.
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see him.
I think he's a phenomenal
And the
Spider-Man.
worst Batman ever was the jerk that we met I was interviewing Julie Newmar. And in the room was the big fat Robin. Robin became like 500 pounds. And next to him was that awful guy. What was his name?
Actually, I got along good with him.
He was a son of a
Adam
bitch.
Ward.
What is his name?
Who's the original Batman? Adam West.
Adam West. What a nasty cold son of a bitch.
I had problems with him too when I met him.
He's a cold, nasty, sarcastic son of a bitch, and he's dead. And I couldn't care less. When he croaked, I said, "One less fuck in the world." No, really, he's not nice. He was very cruel to me, and the people in the room noticed it, and I got very angry with him. And I think I told him to go fuck himself, and I walked out of the room. And Julie Newmar fainted from that. She was very upset with me doing that and saying that.
I actually met Adam West though at a convention down in Florida, and he hadn't come into the convention yet, and I was outside taking a taxi because I had an audition, and he was there, and so I just introduced myself, and he ended up stood there and talked to me for like 15 minutes while I was waiting for the taxi, and he was like super nice.
Wow.
But then when you go back to him in the actual convention, he was not nice in the convention, but actually just one-on-one on the street, he was just pleasant as could be.
And I had a wonderful story to tell him, how I ate an orange in his house, okay? A new development was in Palm Springs, looked like Italy. It was beautiful. The villas were gorgeous. And the model homes were 1, 2, and 3. So my then friend Stephen and I went into model 1. And I said, "Oh, look how nice. They put oranges out for us." So I took an orange, I peeled it and ate it. Now we're walking through the house. And I said, "Stephen, look, there's clothing in the closet as well." I said, "I think we're in somebody's house. This is not the model." Well, when we left and we went to the realtor, he said, "You're in Adam West's house," because Adam West bought that unit, beautiful unit. And I was going to tell him that story, which he would have gotten a kick out of because he never knew I was in his house eating his orange.
Well, apparently, from what you just said, it sounds like he wouldn't have gotten a kick out of it and might have been pretty nasty about it.
Well, he was as nasty. If people said to me, "Who's the nastiest person you ever had to interview?" I would have said Adam West, who I never did interview. I wouldn't, after the way he treated me and the things he said. He said, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have the right lighting. No, don't bother me." Who the fuck are you?
I think Linda Blair was the worst one.
Who the fuck are you?
Nice.
You know what? I interviewed celebrities that you should kiss their ass, you piece of shit.
Now, I am curious, when you say interview worst versus best, what makes an interview worst? Is it not being able to get long answers out of them? Just the way they're acting towards you?
I'll take this one.
Go ahead, take it.
Well, what happens is they come on your show and they're so much more charismatic and have way more stories than you.
I don't get it.
He made a joke.
I left.
He said, "What makes a bad guest?" And he was making a joke when they come on your show and they're more charismatic. And
you're right. You're right. I wasn't listening. I was thinking of that stupid jerk.
So anyway,
and other people, wait, I want to say one thing. When an actor thinks he is better than his public, he's no good, in my book. Remember one thing, sweetheart. If it wasn't for this fucking computer and you guys, Jimmy and I would be nothing. Jimmy and I would be out cutting lawns, okay? So it's up to the people that watch us. We have 4 or 5 million people watch us. I love them. I love
fantastic. 4 or 5 million people.
I love my audience because without them, I'm nothing but nothing. And Adam West didn't realize that I could have brought him to 5 million people. And he was nasty and mean. What did he think? He was going to beat me down? Now, Julie,
Nobody ever beats him down.
never. I told him to go fuck
Jimmy, you try a couple
No.
nights there?
I told him to go fuck himself, and then his PR person or manager said, "Well, you're never going to get this one." And he named 3 actresses that I was going to get, and I said, "Excuse me, but Shirley Jones is one of my friends." I said, "You're going to go tell Shirley not to come on my show? They're threatening me because I told Adam to go fuck himself. Give me a break."
So let's go bucket list because we've got 4 minutes. Let's go bucket list for you guys. If you guys could interview anybody on the planet, each one of you, and it could be anybody at all. Not saying you're going to get him, but like if you could have your number one dream come true, who is it that you would want to interview?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, there you go.
I think that would just be a really fun interview. Wait, is it live or dead? Alive or dead, or just alive?
It doesn't make any difference. Let's do alive and dead. How's that?
Okay.
All right. Well, Ryan Reynolds now, just because I think he would be so much fun to talk to.
I love Deadpool too. I'm a big Deadpool fan.
Also, the star of our Weekend at Bernie's remake that we won Remake Revolution on 3 Geeks podcast with.
There you go. Okay, go ahead, Madman.
I have to gloat whenever I can.
You absolutely should. I'm more of I'd say dead would actually be someone we brought up last night would be Cary Grant.
There you go.
I'd be fascinated to have that interview. I think that would be so much fun.
I would have been fascinated to be in bed with him. Well, screw the interview.
Hey, well, you can do both. Multitask, Ron.
Cary Grant was, to me, the sexiest man in the world. I mean, he was a dreamboat. Handsome and charming and suave and gay. So he would have been perfect, no problem. It wouldn't be like you had to get a straight guy to swim.
You know who dead I would love to interview? Ward Bond.
Interesting.
I don't even know who that is.
I have a Ward Bond story.
You have 2 minutes.
I was late for an appointment, and I had a Corvette at the time. No, I'm sorry. He had the Corvette, and I had. Anyway, I pulled into a parking spot and hit the back of his car. Just banged it, and he got out, and he came over, and he said, "Are you all right?" And I started to laugh. I said, "Oh, look at who you are." I said, "Listen, when I bang into them, I bang into the biggies." So we started to laugh, and he was very nice.
Who is he?
Ward Bond, the guy from the Cowboy show.
He was on Wagon Train, but he was in like every John.
Wasn't he Bonanza?
Oh, okay. No, Wagon Train.
No, it was Wagon Train.
Wagon Train. Yeah, well, this was back in the early '60s.
Or James Garner, one of those two.
I like James Garner.
James Garner.
James Garner's daughter is follows me on Twitter, so we might have her come on the show.
Yeah, James Garner was loved by Doris Day.
She does a lot of stuff to promote her.
I've only heard nice things about James Garner.
I love James Garner. I think he's great. I love that movie with James Garner and Clint Eastwood. They all go up into space.
Space Cowboys.
I love
that movie. Love that movie.
Such a guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland is one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, Ethan was in a movie with him.
I can't say this because I'll get in trouble.
We got 1 minute, so you got to hurry.
Well, I can't say it. Anyway, okay. I'll tell you in private. Donald Sutherland used to come to my neighbor next door.
Oh, he was having an affair with some big star.
Don't mention it. He was married, but he was having an affair with my neighbor next door.
Ooh, salacious.
And she was a very famous television star. And from my kitchen window, I could see down into her patio through her glass door into her living room.
Yeah, so he's seen Donald Sutherland's ass banging it.
No, don't say that because that's not true. No,
they were dancing.
Hang on, we got to go though. Hold on.
That's not true.
So you guys,
wait a minute. What I used to see is this beautiful female star used to wash her panties and bras and put them on the hedges to dry. So we would look out my kitchen window, and there were her bloomers. I mean, really.
So real quick, you guys, because literally we have 30 seconds. Tell everybody how they can watch the show again.
Head over to thescenesnobs.com. We have all our shows listed right there. Links to everything. It's the hub. You can go right there and watch any of our shows, especially the Scene Snobs podcast, which we're live on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Or you can check it out in podcast or video format whenever it's on.
And we love and appreciate anyone and everyone for checking in. Thank you very much.
And you guys too, you can follow the Scene Snob on Twitter. They're the Scene Snob. And what are you on? What are you, Madman, on Twitter?
At Plottimus21.
I think I followed you yesterday. So
I'm sorry. On Twitter, it's at Twedeye Night.
Yeah, I think I followed you. Check and see, because if I did, you have to follow me back, or I'll unfollow.
Absolutely.
You're a celebrity now, Case. So you got to change it to one thing.
Yeah, I've got so many bouncing
around. You need to get them all together. So everybody, this is it. We had a great show. We want to thank.
Wait. We'll see you guys in New York, I hope.
Yes, we will.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
We will make it.
Because now we call you friend.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
Oh
fun.
my
Hey,
God.
you guys, we want to thank you guys so much for coming on. Glad you got to also meet Ethan a little bit, and have a great time. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. We'll see you guys next week. Everybody
See
have
you
a great
next week,
weekend. Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Stay
Bye.
safe, stay happy, and stay happy.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
Don't give him like any other food.
No,
besides
he's
dog
just
food.
dog food.